Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Time Out with Yomi Martins. And this is another edition of Time Out with Yomi Martins, right? I know you guys have missed me for a while. No big deal. I've been, doing quite a lot of research to ensure that when I come back with a bomb. And that is what you are going to be having today. I'm going to be talking about um, something a lot of my mentees have been asking me to do, as in do a video on how to trade the Forex market as a beginner, right? A lot of people, belong to the Golden Finger FX Academy, which I'm a convener of, and they have been asking me to do a video on beginners going into the Forex market, how to trade signals, how to understand what the signal provider is actually doing, because that's actually the best to do. Now, before I continue, I'm not a financial advisor. All I do here is give educational content that will add value to your life and actually make money in your pocket as well. And if that's the kind of content you like, and you always want to be the very first to get contents like this, right? Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button as well, so that you are the very first to get similar videos that I produce on Forex trading. I do not do platforms anymore, basically because of one reason. They are not reliable, and the best way to put money in your pocket is when that money is totally in your control. With that out of the way, I'll be handling quite a lot of things, and I will try and make sure that I am very rapid about it so that I do not, wait so much time. So I'm actually going to set my timer because I want this to be clinically done in a couple of minutes so that, you don't get bored with whatever I'm saying. So I'm going to be checking my time intermittently. I'm going to be talking about analyzing on trading view. I'm going to be talking about trading with support and resistance. That is trade mapping. I'm going to be talking about trend lines, candlestick patterns, using indicators, layering and when to layer, break-even concept, and netting off. Then finally, I'm going to still drop a video in the description section on how you can take a trade on MT4, MT5. I've done a video on that already, so I don't think I want to touch on that right now again. So let's dive in. How do I begin my day? The very first thing I do is that I go on TradingView. If you don't have a TradingView account, I'm going to show you exactly how to open one right now. It's actually pretty straightforward. All you need to do is go to TradingView. I already have an account. Just go to Google and type in TradingView. That's the beginning of your job as a trader. You type in TradingView, right? And you just enter. Now, when you enter, you go on to the very first one, right? Right here, you click on the very first one. If you don't have an account, all you need to do is register an account with your email address and your name, email address, and all that. And it's quite straightforward to do, right? So I'm not going to delve into that, but choose the free account. They have two versions. They have the paid account in which you can use more than 3 indicators, and they have the free account in which you can use just 3 indicators, right? So it's actually as simple as that. So because I already have an account, I'm not going to click on this first icon. I'm going to go straight into charts since I already have an account. So I'm going to click on the chart button. I want you to understand how I structure, my trades and my life and all that stuff so that you guys understand fully how I actually take trades. So that is coming up already. Now, let's just wait a little bit. Network seems to be a bit slow. Okay. Now, this is your trading view, right? This is how it's going to look like. On this section over here where you see XAU USD, right? I basically trade, what do you call it? I basically trade gold, which is XAUUSD. That's what I trade. That's gold. Gold is both a currency and a commodity. So, and it is crazy volatility in the gold market. That's why I always like trading the gold market. Now, if you want to trade any other pair, right, you just click on the symbol and choose the pair you want to trade. But I'm not going to be talking about any other pair apart from gold today. So basically, that is that for that. Get registered on TradingView, right, which I've already shown you how to do, right? And I'll show you how to use something. So just relax, stay with me, right? We have gotten the first lesson out and creating the TradingView account and analyzing on the TradingView account is the next thing we are going to be talking about, which is recognizing support and resistance, right? What is support? What is resistance, right? Support is at the bottom. I'll show you what I mean by at the bottom, right? Support, like for instance, here right now on this chart, I'm going to explain everything on this chart to you. Let me drag this down a bit. Why is this not responding? Right, okay. Now, let me just show you this as an example. Assuming I draw another line here, you can come to this section here, this button here. When you click on it, it shows you different options. You want to draw a trend line, an arrow, ray, blah, blah, blah. What I want to draw here is an horizontal line. So I click on the horizontal line. I come right here. I click on it, right? That is my resistance line up here, right? My support line is below here. You ask me, how did I get that, right? Support is the points in which you will find buyers. That is below. That is this line right here. Support is the point in which you find buyers. I'm not even supposed to place it right here. I'm supposed to drag this a bit. Hold on, because I like using. Okay, there must have been a previous support. That's why this line here is there. Because what I normally do is that I draw my lines at the tip of the wick. This is the wick here. So this is the support. I'm sure this is the previous support also. This is a resistance line, right? Now, a support line is where you find buyers, right? Resistance line, which is on top, is where you find sellers. So when it gets to resistance line, people are there ready to sell. When it gets to support line, people are there ready to buy. Now, a previous support can end up being a resistance. Assuming this line here, which used to be a support line, is broken towards the downside and goes further down, right? It can become a resistance when it starts coming back up again. When the candles start coming back up again, it can become a resistance. The same way, a resistance line, if broken, like you can see on this end right now, this resistance line has been broken to the upside, right? It has been broken to the upside, way, way, way up here. Now you can find another resistance being formed here. So let me draw another line here, right? Let me draw another line here, right? So this is a new resistance up here, and this former resistance has become a support right now. If it starts coming down again, it will become a support instead of a resistance. So you've gotten it. Support line is where you have buyers. Resistance line is where you have sellers, which is on top, right? And you know that previous support can become a resistance if broken. And a previous resistance can become support as well if broken to the upside and it starts coming back down. So I've actually handled that. But another thing I need to tell you is this. Very quick. I trade on the 5 minutes chart. This is where you get the minutes, right? When you click on this, you can actually change it to 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and so on and so forth. You can trade on 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. I normally take my trades on 5 minutes. But before I take my trades on 5 minutes, I can scroll down to find previous support and resistance, right? In the H1, which is 1 hour chart, the 4 hour chart, and the daily chart. They are very important for me to take my decision so that I know what to do when it gets to that point, and I know what to do when it gets below. I don't just take trades at the middle. So let's go to the H4, H1. No, let's use H4. Let's use H4. Let's click on H4. The chart will change now. Now, you can see from this chart, let me just draw this a bit so that you can see properly. You can see from this chart, each candlestick was formed after 4 hours. Do you understand? Each candlestick that you see here was formed after 4 hours. Why you normally take your trade or your mapping on, what do you call it, an higher time frame, is for you to have a broader view of how the market has been moving. Do you understand? Because if you are just doing your mapping on the 5 minutes time frame that you are trading on, you will not really get a perfect overview of the movement in the market. Now, let's start drawing our lines. As I said before, you come to this side, you click on it, right? You pick the horizontal line, right? Horizontal line. I draw at the tip of the wick because this is the highest point right now. The one below, I'm going to delete now. I'm going to delete this, right? Now, where I put my lines are where the candle wick, there are so many candle wicks that touch that zone. Okay? Now, let me just drag this here. Or if you are creating a new line, you can come right over here and do what I just did before. So let me drag this down here. This is another zone. Let me drag this up here based on this wick right over here, this wick here, right? That's another zone. Now I'm going to delete a couple of this because they were relevant before. So I'm trying to do my mapping against Monday right now. Let me delete this as well. Click on it and click on delete because it's no longer relevant. Now, this one, I'll click on it and delete as well. Now, this zone is another zone. Let me drag this down to this zone, right? You can see this week touched it. This week also touched it, right? This week also here touched it. So this zone has been touched like 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So that's another zone for me. Let me go up whether I will see another zone. This is another zone right here, right? Let me click on this and create another line. Click on that line. So this almost touched it, this touched it, this here touched that zone, this touched it. So I know that that is a zone. Let me go again right over here, click on this, select horizontal line, come right here. This is another zone for me. Click on this. Now, I have clicked on my zones. This is a support, this is a resistance, right? If the wicks are somewhere in the middle here, I know that this is a support, this is a resistance. If the wicks are somewhere in the middle here trading, I know that this is a support, this is a resistance, right? Now I've taken my map. Let me see, where are we? Okay, so that is where we have ended this. Okay, now that is that for mapping. You now understand how to do your mapping based on support and resistance, right? That is the first thing you also need to understand. Now, I think I've handled that. I've told you that. See, I don't want to waste so much time. That's why I'm going to make this pretty fast. You should also go to your previous daily candle and do exactly what I've done right here. Look at zones that that the candle wicks touched several times on the daily, on the 4 hour, and on the 1 hour. When you have done that, I don't want to waste our time so much. That's why I'm going to go off that pretty quickly. I've handled how I do my mapping. Now, let's go back here. And let's go to 5 minutes, right? And stay with me. You're going to still hear some very exciting gist. Now, I've done my mapping. Let me stretch this a bit. No, let me stretch it a bit up so that it's clearer. Let me drag this down. Let me stretch this. Okay. This is where we are in the market now. Now, as it is, this here is a support line based on the previous mappings that I've made. The previous mapping that I've made on higher time frames. And this is a resistance line. I've undo that. Now, what are trend lines? Trend lines are where our diagonal lines, whether going up or going down, where candlesticks touch at least 3 times. I need to explain that to you. Let's look at this graph right now, this chart. Now, let me drag this way. Click on drag. Okay. Yeah. Now, let me drag an uptrend here. Let me change this right here to trend line. Now, let me drag from this lower end. I'll pull to this upper end here. Now for trend lines, let me click. Yeah. Now click it. Yeah. Now, I've drawn a trend line from here. It hit it the first time. It hit it the second time. It's not yet a trend line until it hits it the 3rd time. Peradventure, this candle now comes up here. It hits it the 3rd time. So a lot of things can happen at that point for me to know that, you know, the trend is continuing, or probably the trend is broken to the upside, right? I can't do everything in this video, but I'm just going to show you some, you know, some basics. Now, the same way you do a trend line up there, you can draw a trend line down here. So I click on this trend line again, and I pick from the lower end, and I pull to the base right here. Now, you see, it touched it the first time here, it touched it the second time here, it touched it the 3rd time here. This is clearly an uptrend. If it breaks to the downside, we can have, at this last end, we can now start having a downtrend. So it's actually quite straightforward. Now, I've shown you basically, you know, an overview of trend lines to know whether we're having an uptrend, as in we should be taking buys, or we're having a downtrend and we should be taking sells, right? Now, another thing I want to show you is candlestick patterns. Now, there are different candlesticks. There are dojis, there are candlesticks that show trend reversals, there are candlesticks that show trend continuation. All these big candles here are bullish candles that show you that the trend is really hot going up, or this one's in red, really hot going down, right? When you see such candles, you know that we are either in an uptrend or a downtrend for you to take your decision on trading. So that is that for that. Let me move pretty fast. Now, when you see dojis like this, before a trend change, you see this kind of dojis. That's what they are called. These small candles that show you that there's going to be a change in direction. Now, you can see these small candles here also that thin is also showing you that there's going to be a change of direction to the upside. When you have dojis like this, right, inverted hammer, it shows you that the trend is going down. I'm going to do a specific video on candlestick patterns and everything, but I just want to give you an overview in this video. You might not grasp everything immediately, but you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, another thing for beginners is for you to use indicators, which actually helps you a lot. Now, one indicator that I don't fail to use is my RSI, and that's the one below right here. And the only thing you need to do is, after you have created your account, come to this place called indicators, click on it, right? Click on it. Hold on. Yeah, click on it, go to the search button and type in RSI. And it's right there, right? RSI, Relative Strength Index. So just click on this first one. I'm not clicking on it right now because I've already clicked on it and it's right here below. And I'll explain what it means to me right now. So just a minute, right? Now, the only other thing you need to do is on this RSI, come to this place that says settings, right? Click on the settings and change the RSI length to 5. Just change it to 5. I'm sure it will be like 14 there or thereabouts. Hold on a second. Let me just check something very quickly. No, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm correct. I'm correct. Yeah, let me go back here. Yeah, so it should be 5. It should be 5. So ensure it's 5 and click OK. That is the only thing you are changing. I'm not going to tell you about any other indicator for today, right? But what this means is this. Now, look at this point right over here. You can see right here, the RSI is below the band, this band here, which shows it is oversold. And it's also on support line. So you look at it with the support line as well. Is it on support line? What is the candle? Is it a change of direction candle that you are using, that is appearing? It's a good trade to take. The RSI is showing oversold because it is below this band, right? Now, when it's on the upper band, it's showing you overbought right here, which you can see over here, and it came down slightly, right? So you have to be watching out for 3 major things. Is the RSI below or above the band? Are you on support line or resistance line before you take your trade? Do you understand? So that's handled. Let me move on to the next one. Now, layering. Sometimes you have situations in which a trade goes against you. Probably you have taken a buy order and it comes down, right? You can decide to layer when it's down so that when it pulls back up, you can buy more. What is layering? Layering means, for instance, you bought at 0.01 pip size. Pip size, we are going to handle also. We can't handle everything in one video. Pip size, we are going to handle. Let's say you have a pip size of 0.01, right? And you bought gold to buy. And it comes down against you. You bought gold at 1800. It comes down against you to 1798, right? That is 20 pips. You can decide to buy another 1 unit. If it comes down 1796, 20 pips, you can decide to buy another unit, right? So that when it rises back up above 1800, you would have made your money and you are good to go. So that is another strategy that I need to tell you. Now, breaking even and netting off. Now, let's look at this situation in which you have bought 2 additional trades, like I told you, at 1798 and 1796, right? Now, the first one that you bought was at 1800. By the time your trade comes back up from the last 1796 and 1798 that you have bought before, it goes back up to 1800. Let's even say it doesn't go above 1800. You would have made money on the 1796 and 1798, and you can decide to wait till you make money on the 1800 or net off, close the position in break even. That means you don't make any profit on that last entry, or you decide to wait. So it all depends on you. So layering is another strategy that you can use. Now, I'm going to drop a link to my Telegram group, right, where I actually give free signals. All you need to be to be a member of my free signal group is to ensure you hold on a second. Let me just close this. Yes, let me just pause sharing, right? Sorry. Okay, let me just go right ahead. I don't know what's wrong, why I can't get an angle of this. So I'm going to leave a link to my Telegram group where I give free signals. All you need to do is I give signals on a daily basis, and I trade I trade the London session in the morning, very early in the morning. I'm already in the market around 7 a.m. So if you're a beginner and you want me to handhold you, all you need to do is register on my preferred broker, which is xmglobal, right? Register with my link, which I'm going to drop in the description section. Join my Telegram group for the free signals and all that, so that you can partake in the signals and everything. And I can also put you in the VIP group once you have registered with my link on XM Global. So check the description section for the link to the Telegram group. Check the description section to register with XM Broker. And let me tell you another wonderful thing about registering on XM Broker. You will be able to get double the amount you deposit. So if you deposit $100, right, you will get $200. That means an extra $100 credit to trade with, right? If you register with my link, mind you. So what else do I want to say? I think that's about all, right? We will learn more in the Telegram group and all that stuff as regards how to take trades. And if you use my link and you belong, I put you on the VIP, we will have very, very interactive section in the VIP and more knowledge to be shared. So until I meet you again, before you leave this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you like the content of my video, so that you'll always be the first to get, informative content on Forex and other money-making ventures. So until I see you again, please take care and do have a wonderful day ahead.